Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Heart for the Community Initiative Black Business Spotlight. It is 2022. This is the second year in a row the Heart for the Community Initiative has done its thing to do to shine the light on Black businesses. Now, we'll tell you something. We called ourselves trying to do this during Black History Month only, but we soon found out that February couldn't hold us. Because of you, the audience, and because of the response from the business owners in our region, it has been tremendous. I believe that many businesses have been helped, and also many of our audience members have been made aware of the local entrepreneurs, the businesses, the service and products that are available. And for all of you who love to support your Black-owned businesses, hey, it has been a prime opportunity. We're going to say hello to Brother Enoch. He is watching us from Uganda today. God bless you, brother. And listen, we want you to spread the word in Uganda too, because most of these business owners, you can jump online and order some stuff from them. All right. So we appreciate you, brother. We thank God for all of our audience, far and near. We do tend to attract people in the four corners of the earth. Now, listen, we have three business owners that we're going to present today. And you want to know if I'm crazy because you only see two on the screen. Well, Miss Tia, she's going to join us in just a few moments. One thing about promoting business people, they are busy. They're very busy. They're doing more than one thing. And so as soon as Tia can break loose, she's going to join us. But in the meantime, we have two super duper entrepreneurs, business owners, author, all kind of stuff. This particular episode is going to be so interesting because there's so much information that can be released. And Joy, there's your homegirl right there. She's saying good evening, Jeanette. How you doing, Miss Holland? God bless you. So in our midst right there on your screen, we do have Miss Joy Pearson. She is a multi-million-dollar real estate salesperson and also an author. Listen, that's just two of the things that I can name. We're going to let her tell you the rest. And we have superstar Robert Brincourt Smoot, who brings Hollywood and Broadway right here to the 571, the 703, and the 540. So we thank God for Mr. Smoot, who does such a tremendous job in these live shows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask those in our live audience, help us out. Please begin to share this episode on your social media platform. And also, please begin to tag your family and friends. That way, we can bring as many people into the fold as we can, and they can get this good news from these tremendous business owners, entrepreneurs, these tremendously talented people. We want you to know who they are. We want you to know what they're all about and where they do business. We want you to know how to get in contact with them. So as we go along in the show, I am going to ask Robert and Joy somewhere in the comments. Just make sure you type something about your contact information, maybe your business name, your website, your social media contact information, just so that while you're talking, we can put that information up so the public can see it. We're going to start with Joy, and then we're going to go to Robert. We're going to ask them to introduce themselves to you. All right. And when they introduce themselves to you, they're going to tell you about their business, their businesses, and tell you what they do. And here she is, superstar number three, Miss Tia Nicole. All right. I thank God for Tia. Listen, Tia has been on with me so many times. I have to do no explanation. She know how it goes. So we're going to have Joy to introduce herself to the audience, then Robert, and then Tia. Joy, please go ahead, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Joy Pearson. I am a native of Danville, Virginia. I always love saying that first, my little hometown. I am an author, a speaker, I'm an Army veteran, and I am also a top producing multi-million dollar um, realtor here in the Northern Virginia area. I'm licensed in the entire state of Virginia, so you'll often find me as high as going to Arlington, right outside of DC. And I even go down south, Richmond, the Tidewater area, and also I can be found in Danville as well. So I do try to encompass the entire state of Virginia because I'm licensed in those areas. So if I get clients that are looking for work, I am open to do so. One of the things I pride myself on is offering my clients the joyous experience. And so looking forward to talking a little bit more about that later. Thank you for having me. And I am super excited to be on a panel amongst my siblings, my homeboy and my girl Tia. So what's up, everybody? Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate that. All right, Robert, please introduce yourself and your business to the audience.
Well, first of all, Carl, thank you for inviting me out tonight. And why would you put me up with so talented, lovely ladies? You
You
know,
deserve it, brother.
woo. Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Smoot with Brinco Entertainment. Many of y'all have either been to my events or don't want to come to my events, but my website is brencore.com. That's BRENCORE.com. That is actually my son's name, Brenton Corey. I took the T off and the Y off because I wanted to create a legacy for them. Basically, what we do a lot of concerts. We do a lot of entertainment from basically every walks of life comedy. So that's pretty much what I do. I've been doing it for 15 years. I live in the Fredericksburg area, but we travel all over the country. In fact, we just came back from outside of Delaware last night doing a tribute show. So pretty much that's what I have going for me. I am a true entrepreneur. I don't have another job. I'm not as skilled in other things, but I love what I do, and we're going to continue to do it. And hopefully, you all support us.
All right. Well, I got a feeling we're gonna get a story about faith out of Robert today. He said, "That's it. It's either sink or swim." We appreciate that.
Well,
Tia, please introduce yourself to the audience and your business.
Brother Carl,
Amen.
amazing to be back with you.
All right.
Hello, Facebook family, and everyone who is joining us tonight. I am Tia Nicole, the owner of Lala or More Beauty. Oh my gosh, what don't I do? With Lala More Beauty, it's a career. It's a second career for me. I was between government and military. I was 13 years in, and I took a step out on faith, and we'll get into that later, into this beauty world. And so, one of my goals as a beauty professional is to dispel the myth that beauty is vanity, like it's vain. You have to be vain to be all into beauty. I look at beauty as being empowering, because sometimes, I tell people it's not a cliche. When you look good, you really do feel good. So I seek to empower women through my gifts in the beauty field. It's also ministry for me, because I am a woman of faith. So to me, it kind of ties in together. Also, I am big in the community. I love the community. I love doing things in the community. My heart is for senior citizens. So often, if you guys follow me on Facebook, you'll see I share things about doing senior virtual events for our senior citizens, 55 and older. So I do things like that. Also, I'm very active in my church. I do a lot of things under the realm of my church. So I am a busy bee, but it's through me being an entrepreneur that has allowed me the freedom to be able to do things across those other scopes of work. So I'm excited to be on tonight, and yes, I am excited to be amongst my brother and my sister. I use them both. Like, me and Joy talk all the time, and of course, who has not been to one of Brent Core's events?
That's
Started
funny.
way back at the Carlisle Club. So we've been hanging a long time, brother Brent Core.
This is amazing. I've been so excited all week to get to this particular episode because I knew I had three heavy hitters. Not only the many things that you do in the business world, but because you're such dynamic people, and dynamic people do dynamic and creative things. And so I can't wait for you to pour out of what you know and who you are to the audience. This is what the first question I'm going to ask, and I'm going to start this question with Joy. What is it about you three that calls you to just step out? You know a lot of people, but not everybody has the gall, the know-how, the faith, the tenacity to not only launch out in the business world, but to do those things that it takes to remain successful. And the three of you know there are some ups and downs. I mean, to being your own boss and writing your own checks. It's nice to sign your checks when there's something to sign, But when things get lean in the entrepreneurial world, you really have to be creative. What is it about you that caused you to jump out and stay out? I'll start with you, Joy.
One of the saying is by Maya Angelou, where she states that people will forget what you said, they'll forget they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. And I can tell you, having been friends with the two of these young people, both Tia, Robert, myself, one of the key things that I can tell you that sets us apart is the fact that there are people who are out here who are doing business that, they're about that dollar. Now, I'm not saying that the dollar is not all important, but at the end of the day, we genuinely love people. And all the three of us are big on experience. The experience, making sure that when our clients are being cared for, that it's being done in excellence, whether it is ensuring that that they're getting all of the knowledge that they need to know, because as a realtor, real estate is daunting. It's very convoluted. It's very a lot of people are very overwhelmed by just the knowledge that's associated with real estate. But because of my love for people and wanting everyone to have that opportunity to have home ownership, I do it in a way that I keep a 10 on their head at all times, and remembering that no matter who they are, they deserve to be treated like presidents. I call them Mr. and Mrs. President. And I believe that all the three of us carry that. And because we do, people seek us out. I think Robert was just saying a minute ago how he went to Havity Grace to an event and someone from Fredericksburg came. And the reason why, great, it's great music, yes, but also the experience that our clients get from working specifically with us, as opposed to some of the other people that might offer the same products and services. So aside from our business acumen and being able to run our businesses successfully, because that's the foundation of things, but also that experience that we provide our clients because we genuinely care for them. That's what sets us apart, what drives people to us, and what allows us to continue to strive even in a challenging market.
Would be nice if the supposed professional would act like one. Thank you, Joy. That was a mouthful, and I love that you gave it up to the audience. People want to hear what I'm discovering through this series is as important as it is to promote your business, and we definitely want to do that. But the people want to know your story, right? How did you do it? What keeps you motivated? And Robert, I'm going to go to you on that. I mean, what in the world made you say, I'm going to give it all up in the corporate world and go all into this business?
Well, to be honest with you, I got fired from my job.
That'll do it.
Yeah, real quick. But I was actually, first of all, I'm a man of God, and I believe that everything I have is from Him. And, I've been rock bottom. I've experienced all the negative things in life. But He gave me this vision to basically give back. And my thing was through music. I grew up in the church, sang the choir, all that good stuff. But what happened was I was in the federal government. And back in the day, I met a guy and he said, hey, man, let's do this big major concert. And I was all in because I knew that once I got all in, that I would love it. And I did. It was a major concert. Unfortunately, it didn't take place. But when I saw a sponsorship of $300,000 come across our desk to do it, I said, okay, this thing is real. I need to learn more about my business and what we how I can move it to the next level. So then I stretched out on faith, and believe it or not, I started at 43 years old. So I was an older guy, had skill sets. I was an IT project manager, did well, but it just wasn't my passion. So I found my passion, and I decided, well, look, you know what? Let's roll with it. So I started a little lounge back in 2006. It was at the Gateway Marriott in Crystal City, the Ben 1700. And folks came there. So one guy came to me. We had a successful opening night. So a guy came to me. I guess that week, he said, man, you know how big your following is? I said, what following? I just had this first event. He said, everyone's on the commuter buses going south and talking about this jazz lounge. I'm like, okay, well, I just got started. How is that going to happen? But what I learned, it was about branding. And as an entrepreneur, you have to have strong branding. If you don't, it's your smile, it's your personality, it's your work ethic, it's the venues you have, it's marketing, being up 24/7 and believing in yourself. And that's how I got started. And that's how well, I mean, like Joy said, people will come to you based off of your commitment, how you treat them, and things like that. And that's where I do it. Now, when it gets lean, that's when I call on God. But like the COVID situation set me back 2 years with my position, with what I did. But I had the faith, and already this year I'm scheduled to do. I have 40 gigs already, major shows already, and they're still pouring in. So that's nothing but God. I'm married, have a beautiful wife that supports me in things, and I tell you, I'm a true thing of being a entrepreneur, because I didn't have the money, I didn't have the loans, I didn't have the credit. Only thing I had was God, and I'm glad I do. So next.
Wow. Now that's amazing, and I really do thank you for sharing that. Tia, what makes you the type of person that launches out and have the guts and the boldness and tenacity to be successful?
Well, first of all, I feel like Brother Brinkhorn I need to compete with him. Like, that story. Let's see. I was born in a shack back in 1970. Man, listen, I'm telling you, this career for me has really been all God. Similar to Robert, I worked for the government. I did network. I was I did cybersecurity for the government. Started in the Army doing IT stuff, and it just poured over into the government once I exited the Army. And for me, this is always an emotional topic, because I would have never thought, you couldn't have ever told me that I was going to be in the beauty field. I stumbled upon it when my daughter was in competition dance. And I was kind of new to the area, and I didn't know how to navigate all of DMV. And I was always late trying to get her makeup done. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get on YouTube and learn how to do your makeup. And she was completely devastated. Now she always in my makeup, right? But that's just really how I stumbled upon it. And who knew what God's plans were for me but him, right? And so even with knowing that this was my passion and I had a gift with it, and I knew I had a gift with it, because being new to makeup, I would do makeup. People would tell me, like, your makeup is like flawless. And it would be people who had been in the industry for like years, and I'm like a year in. And so I knew that I had a talent with it. And but stepping out to start it full time was where it became emotional for me, because I was a single mom. So that was the difference with me and maybe some of my fellow panelists, is I was not married. Anyone that knows my story, I lost my mother, my father very young, my grandparents. So literally in my immediate family, it is just me. So for me to drop this security, that was the government, and I'm making $120,000+ a year. So for me to let go of that and to step out and do beauty, like, I was just thinking, there's no way I can do this. And I tell people that I was forced to do this, because I was so secure in the government, and I just contracts kept getting lost. And one day God just woke me up in the middle of the night. And I tell people I have this special connection to rain. I feel like God speaks to me through the rain. So many major things that has happened in my life, it was raining. So I was raining in the middle of the night, and I turned on this video, and I saw this video, and I just wept. And it was just like, God was like, you gotta just do it. Now I'm forcing you to do it. And so I did it. I stepped out on faith and I did it. I put in my 2 weeks. And I would tell you, and you heard what Robert said, but this is the common thing when you step out and do a venture. You may lose it all. You have to be willing to lose it all. But what I found is that, and I was trying to pull this up because it's so crazy that Robert said this, and we were just talking about this in church today. But I found that sometimes that's God's way of making you uncomfortable and purging you so that he can build you right back up again the way that he would have you to go. And today we were talking in Psalms 119 where it says, your promise revives me. It comforts me in all my troubles. That is my life. That is my walk, my faith walk with God when it comes to business, when it comes to everything. It was his promise. I know he told me. He told me that this was going to be ministry for me. He told me this was going to be my business and it was going to make room for me. He told me I was going to thrive, but I didn't see it. So those are the things that comforted me when I went into foreclosure, when my car got repossessed. Listen, I'm telling you, this is, and I was like, no, wait a minute, God. I was making $120,000 a year. What we doing?
Right.
But, you know, the beauty, like Joy said earlier, is not in the amount of money made, because God has replaced that money 2 times over in this beauty career field. But it's not about that. It's about the people's lives that I touch in the process, the ministry. And that's why I tell people, don't chase the dollar. You better chase purpose.
Wow.
You better chase purpose and passion. Don't chase the dollars, because the dollar's going to come when you chase your purpose and your passion. So that's.
Can you say that one more time? I want you to say it again, please.
Do not chase dollars, chase purpose.
Wow, that's very similar to what I teach and I tell our children. I tell them, listen, don't chase money. Chase the thing that you love, chase your passion, and go all in. Get very, very good at it, and you'll find that the money will chase you. You know, people don't believe this when you grow up poor, but there's sometimes you got to turn money down for your sanity, right?
Say it again.
You know, as I read about, and Robert, I'm coming to you first on this one. Whenever I read about successful people, there's a common thread that I read, and I didn't say this to you all, but you're bringing it out. It's almost like the greater risk you are willing to take, the deeper your faith, the greater your reward. Now, y'all have painted a realistic picture, right? Because it hadn't been all roses. There were times where it just wasn't happening. But for whatever reason, you stuck with it. What is it about that risk reward thing? What is it about who you are that makes you say, listen, I could play it safe over here, but I just can't live like that? I'm asking you first, Robert.
Whew. Well, Tia, you touched my heart, sweetie. True story. Hit me with the question again, brother.
The question is the risk reward. What makes you the type of person that can take that risk? I mean, risk it all, because it appears to me like the people who are willing to take the deepest risk and the people who are willing to display the deepest type of faith are the ones who reap the riches in the end. What makes you that type of person to be able to do that?
I tell my sons all the time, when I first started, they were young guys. They're with me now. One is a social media manager, and the other one's a DJ in my company. And they weren't in tune when I first started, and they'll tell you that, hey, I ain't thinking about you. That's your company. But the risk, basically, when you go in the federal government and you work for years, 15, 20, 30 years, you look at the reward that you get. A lot of people are doing 9 to 5 just for that check. And like Tia said, I have tripled my salary that I was making in the federal government, basically by stepping out on faith. I love what I do, and the money comes. That's passion. When you have passion, you can step out on faith. And basically, that's really is faith. I'll give you an example of my dad. when we were younger, he was a cab driver. And when we were growing up, we didn't have that silver spoon or anything. So, but what he did, he carried his family to church. We stayed in church. He was a deacon in the church. We learned, we studied, and I would always see him, and he would go to, he would go out in the middle of the night, and what they call it now is hack. So they would hack back in the day, and then he'll bring money home to my mom to feed, and my mom didn't work, so we didn't have the money, but he was a provider. So what I try to take away from that is that you was truly a entrepreneur back then in the day. He rented the cab, paid for the cab, and all those things like that. So the risk and the reward, I take risks. Every event that I do, I don't have sponsorships dollars behind me. I don't have a major corporation supporting what I do, but I love what I do. If you love what you do, that's all you need. I mean, that's all you need, to be honest with you. Because people like Joy, Tia works with one of my photographers, one of the first photographers, Lon Mark, who to me is the best photographer in the game, hands down. He came up to one of my events. I'm like, well, dude, who are you? He said, I'm here to shoot for somebody else. Then he ended up shooting a lot of my pictures. So you risk a lot. I've lost a lot. I mean, I'm not here to lie to you. If you don't have a plan and you don't have a foundation, you're going and take that risk, because there's a lot of promoters out there that say that they're going to do things and I can get it. It's more than just a pretty flyer, because you have to have that base. And that's what I try to get, the base from people.
Wow, thank you. Joy, what about you? Risk versus reward.
I often hear people say you got to be hungry, right? And so for me, one of the biggest things is just understanding the fact that I am hungry. And it's not just so much hungry for money, but I'm hungry to make a difference. I'm hungry for significance versus success. In other words, like we've all, shared our different stories, knowing where I came from, what I had and what I didn't have, and understanding right now the call to action in terms of what is going on in our market and how the rich are getting richer and the poor seem to be getting poorer, and how we are, how we are almost there's about to be a significant decrease in the amount of people that are going to be able to purchase homes at the rate we're going. I think it's like 62%. And by the year, and within 20 years, 62% of both the African American community as well as those that are of lesser income are going to be able to purchase homes versus what we have right now here in 2022. So there's a race to make a difference. And to be significant in that impact and educating ourselves on investing and, credit repair and, insurance and all of those things. And I want to be at the forefront of that. And so understanding that when too much is given, much is required, there is a level of commitment and sacrifice that's necessary. But if we don't do it, who else? Who's going to do it? Right? Because we've been waiting now for someone to educate us on different things. It's time for us to work in a community and collaborate and begin to educate ourselves so that we can become better citizens. And again, I was just very big on that piece of it, making a difference.
Wonderful. Hey, Jeanette, I see that question and I'm going to come back to you, but I want to get this from Tia first, and we're going to come back to Joy. Tia, when it comes to you, I mean, the risk versus the reward, we got a piece of the answer, but you did it, but you can't tell me that at this point, you don't still do it. It's just at a different level.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you want to elevate and go higher, there's a risk that's involved with it. But the one thing that I always carry with me and that I say, and I even say to my daughter, is when you hit rock bottom, you're no longer scared of rock bottom. Once you've been there, you're no longer scared. So there's only way to go but up. There's nowhere to go but up. And when I hit rock bottom, when I pretty much lost everything, to me, it just let me know that I can do it if I was to ever hit it again. So for me, I I take risks with that in the back of my mind. Like, first of all, God has already promised me this is what it's going to be. So whatever, he's never left me. He's not going to leave me. So if I have to do it all over again and build back up, then I'm no longer afraid of it. So that allows me to go through any risk. And I launched a hairline in the middle of a pandemic. So that was a risk in and of itself. And oftentimes that hairline is what has carried me, even when the clientele has been, has experienced ebbs and flow. But there is a reward in taking those risks. And again, that goes back to whether it's your just a job or whether it's your purpose and your passion, because that's what allows you to hold on when you face challenges or anything like that. And so for me, the reward is just seeing the people whose lives I touch. Like, I've seen people who are downtrodden come and sit in my chair. I've seen women who come to get their makeup done with full face of makeup on, scared to even leave the house with no makeup on. Like, and that's why I say it's ministry for me, because the people that I encounter in this field and let me tell you, like Robert said, Falon Mark was one of the lead photographers for BET, and he's the lead photographer for DC Fashion Weekend. I started out as his assistant when I was trying to build my business, and I would be all over the DMV as his assistant, and to even watch him grow from that. But that has led me to doing New York Fashion Week. Who would have thought I would have been the lead makeup artist for one of the designers at New York Fashion Week? But again, that the reward is those people that you encounter along the way, especially when you're genuine. And sometimes that even takes, like someone alluded to, I've turned clients away because all money is not good money. So there is a reward to be able to control your destiny, if you will, and I'm not saying outside of your faith, of course, outside of God, but being able to write your own ticket and things like that. So there's definitely rewards associated with it. But I just I don't even really think about the risk anymore. To be honest, that's totally honest. When it's time for me to do something, I don't really think about the risk, because I do have it in the back of my mind that what's the worst that could happen? I go into foreclosure again, been there.
Right.
My
Been
car
there,
get
done that.
repossessed, been there. And let me tell you, Uber wasn't even up when my car got repossessed, because shoot, I got Uber now. So
That's right. Well, listen, Jeanette Holland is asking some beautiful questions, and I'm going to ask this to the panel. Whoever wants to jump on first. First question is, why should we do business with you? What makes you stand out? Listen, whole bunch of folks selling houses, whole bunch of folks writing books, whole bunch of folks do makeup and hair, whole bunch of promoters out there. Why should we spend our money and do business with you? And right behind that, how important is it to you that we support Black businesses? A platform like this came about to support, that regional small Black business owner. So first of all, why should we shop with you? Second of all, how important is it to support the Black businesses? Who will want to jump on first?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Okay. And first off, shout out to Falon Mark. We were friends, actually stationed together many years ago, back in '93 at Fort Belvoir. So I've known him since '93. He was one of my NCOs over me many years ago. So I am just really excited to see him blow up the way he has in the photography world. Love me some I call him Sergeant Harry. He got his little Falon Mark name. Okay, we're gonna go with that. But anyway, one of the things that I can tell you about me that I so enjoy is I am a server. That's my gifting. I love serving people to the best of my capability. And in order to do that, what I have considered, I have deemed what I call the joyous experience. I talked about having that number 10 on my client's head at all times. And oftentimes, whether you are a first-time home buyer, whether you're getting a home built, or whether you are buying a multi-million-dollar house, the fact is that this is not something that you do on a consistent basis. It's something that I do. And so my goal is to educate you and exactly what it is that you're doing so that you're knowledgeable about the process. I ask questions that the normal realtor wouldn't ask. I get all the time, oh my goodness, I've never seen a realtor do this kind of commit, to this kind of service to their clients before. I can't tell you all my secrets, but my clients will tell you that I do provide a phenomenal, joyous experience for them. I have an all 5-star rating. So again, making sure that my clients are knowledgeable about the services and about the process of either selling their home or purchasing another or buying a home and saving them money, whether it's $25,000 over ask or saving them money where they're getting buyer seller concessions from the person that's selling the home, making sure that they're getting top dollar or getting money put in their pocket. And the other key thing I want to mention is, as we talk about, loss and things of that nature, my husband and I were apart. We did mortgages for many years prior to. And so I'm familiar with the mortgage process as a previous lender. So oftentimes when I'm talking to my clients, I don't, as a realtor, I have to stay in my lane. However, when I kind of hear you teeter-totting on something that could potentially be a deal breaker for your loan, or for you purchasing your house, I will share information and I'll say, if I were you, I would speak to my lender about that, because this may not be possible. You may need to find out if before you go get that $10,000 from grandma, ask if you can get that and if the lender will allow it, and is there seasoning required and all of those things. So an average realtor may not have those facts. So again, for me, being different, having that joyous experience, and then also having that experience as a former loan officer puts me in a class completely outside of the realtors that are working. And to answer that question with regards to supporting Black business, I really, that's a touchy subject for me, because a lot of my clients, the majority of my clients I have like a very diverse group of clients. And so to be honest, I believe in supporting businesses that are worthy of support, because to be honest, there are some people who, although they may be of African American descent, they don't know how to operate their business. They don't do it in excellence. They don't return calls. I've got lenders who I'm giving them business, and then somebody's calling me and saying, "Hey, listen, this is not how I do business. I'm not satisfied with this. I'm going to go find somebody else." That then affects me. So am I going to say, well, I'm not going to get this particular lender because he doesn't look, or he looks like he doesn't look like me, or so on and so forth, and then lose a deal? No, I'm all about ensuring that whomever shares my values and excellence, that I'm using people who share the same values that I have. Now, again, having said that, I do try to ensure that I'm always promoting and supporting all businesses. And I do love it when I get an opportunity to celebrate someone who looks like me. But that's not like the main thing that I go after when I'm looking for someone. I'm going for expertise in their ability to service my clients the way I service them. If it happens that they look like me, then so be it. But it's not something that and especially as a realtor, I cannot go after, so that's just my take on things.
I appreciate that. And that's what I call keeping it real. So if y'all want to have the joyous experience, you better call Joy. All right.
Absolutely. So
go
for
ahead,
me, it's the thing. I love to educate, and it's so funny because Laura Shea is on here, and I literally just left her house from doing a one-on-one makeup class with her, because I love to educate. And oftentimes I think that in the beauty industry, particularly with hair and makeup, we don't educate enough. And I would spend so much time as I'm working on a client's hair or doing makeup, just explaining everything and explaining the importance, because above all, I'm all about hair care and skin care. I always say it's better to clear it up than to cover it up, you know. And then the thing about us, particularly women, African American community, is we all know we all grew up with like pressing combs and relaxers. That was just the thing, right? And so just me educating myself to be able to put that back into my community and let them know, hey, there are other ways to do this so that it's not killing your body, so that it's not poisoning you. There are other ways to do that. And then the other thing for me is that I am big about referring people if I can't do it. I'm not, again, the money doesn't drive me. So if it's something that I know that I can't do, I would pass it on to a fellow hairstylist. I'll say, hey, so-and-so is really good at doing this, and I know they'll take care of your natural hair. Or, hey, so-and-so can do this. Even, you know, if it's, and I'll give you an example. I have a client who's now back at me, and she was going to another hairstylist, but that hairstylist started limiting her services. So the hairstylist sent her to me. So she was trying to kind of going back and forth. And so I found out, and I told her, I say, listen, this is not good for your hair because no one knows what you're doing, and we need to be able to see what your pattern is. So I released her as a client because I could not with integrity say that I was caring for her hair if I didn't know all these other people was touching it. So she just recently came back to me, and now she's just my client because of the honesty. You know, I could have taken her money. You know, I have services that run anywhere from $100 to almost $1,000. So I could have easily taken the money, but for me, the ultimate goal is the overall care of your health, whether that's internally or even externally. Also, even with makeup, I'm really big about, I get, you know how some people live close-handed, they keep all the knowledge to themselves. They like, I'm not gonna tell. I'm not. I'm what people tell me, why did you say that? You can charge for a class for that. You could do this and that. And I just don't, because again, you don't chase money, you chase purpose. I can't say that enough because it's just gonna work. And I remember even doing a bride one time, and I wasn't even there to do makeup. I was there to assist Falon. And so I started talking to this bride, and from that point on, that bride has probably referred me 10 people. And I wasn't even the makeup artist to do her makeup, but it was just from my integrity and my trustworthiness, as someone said, and me just being open and honest and going above and beyond when I didn't have to. I could have remained silent, but that's not ministry. Ministry unctions you to say something and to do something and not just sit silent. So that is what sets me apart from everyone else.
There's a big word I take out of there called integrity. Thank you, Tia. Robert, why should we spend this hard-earned money with you, sir? Now, I know why I do, but I want you to tell it.
Come on, Carl. I'm the best.
Toot your horn, brother.
I put a lot of hard work in what I do. I've worked with over 1,000 musicians from the DMV area. A lot of the people that are heard around the country now have started with me on the tribute shows. One of the things I love to do is pay homage to the artists, some artists that are living and some artists that have gone on. And just to find the talent, especially the talent that's under the Brinko Entertainment umbrella, it's amazing. A lot of people in the music industry is probably one of the shadiest and nastiest business out there. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. Cutthroat, backstabbing, things like that. But one of the things that I wanted to do is to clean it up. So when you talking to Robert Smoot or Brinko Entertainment or the Brinko All Star, you're going to get quality. You're going to get quality. You're going to get my band's going to be on time. My services, customer service, from the contracts to everything that I do will be in line and done from a proper perspective, versus me saying, like Tia said, I can take your money all day long, but why take your money? Because again, all money is not good money. And if you're chasing that dollar, you're gonna run for that dollar. I don't like Tia said, clients come to me. You know, here's a classic example, and I don't know if you're going to put it out there. I'm working on a jazz festival at Mount Bethel, so I came to them and I said, "Hey, Gary, won't you come on and bring your what day? What is the day? What are we doing down there?
Oh yeah, you talk about the Juneteenth.
The Juneteenth. Bring it down there. Beautiful, beautiful setting. Come on down there and do that. You know, it's about reaching out to others so that you could build a community. Because
Yes.
that's what it's about. So when he brought the idea, I said, man, that'd be great. So he didn't hire me out. So I got, not only do I have one, I got 2 events down there, and I never even heard of the venue. So somebody came, the lady called me out of the break and said, hey, we heard about you, heard about the services that you do. We want you to be part of our marketing team. Huh? I'm like, okay, well, let's get it done. Now, It's a community thing. And a lot of people don't understand. If you stop chasing those mighty dollars, the dollars are going to come to you with your quality service. So that's pretty much what I've done. How I support Black businesses, I'm trying to knock down venues that we can't go into.
Come on, sir.
I'm trying to I've been to the Howard Theater, sold that out. I've been down to the Roanoke Rapids Theater with Dolly Parton built it, with these little tributes that I do. So it's the quality. And what's funny is that it's an all-white audience that comes to my Black event. I do a Motown all-white audience, over 1,200. So, or I can do a Motown to all of us Black folks, So we just try to give you quality customer service, and we try to be fair, and the Holy Spirit drives me. So I try to, bring that out of me to assist people in just life.
That is awesome. Thank you for that. This is y'all are pouring out so much good information, and I think the audience is like, how we were little and you had those biscuits and those beans, and you would take the biscuit and sop up that bean juice. Now, don't y'all leave me out here like I'm all by myself. I'm not the only country boy.
No, I still do it.
Okay, there we go.
Joy sitting pretty, but she knows she done had a biscuit in her hand before.
Everybody, y'all know that I don't like my food to touch. I don't like my food to touch. Y'all know I'm a city girl with a country from a country town.
She's from that big city called Danville. I ain't gonna mess with her. I'm gonna aim this question first at Tia, because of the audience. I think it was Jeanette that asked the question. As far as mentoring, I would imagine that at some point in your building of your business, you have had mentors, and maybe you still do. How do you use mentors, and how important is mentoring to your particular business? I'll start with you, Tia.
Absolutely. Kim Lee, who's a celebrity makeup artist, you guys can research. She was a big mentor for me coming along the lines, because it's really hard to crack into like the higher level of makeup artistry because it's so saturated. But she was one who really took me under the wings and shared. Again, she educated me and shared things with me. She didn't walk closed-handed. Anything I asked, she pretty much did. Matter of fact, when I was working at Nordstrom's, I was a beauty stylist, so I was in charge of cultivating my own events, and she actually took the time out to come and speak at one of my events at Nordstrom. So I thought that was really big. Also, Falon, he's been a big mentor to me as well because of just the things that he's been able to do. I don't think the man sleeps. He does so much. I mean, I believe either today or tomorrow he's flying out to LA, and he just all over the place. But he's a big mentor to me as well. And then for me, since they're mentoring me, I do pull up as well. As I'm being pulled, I also pull. There's been many a times that I've had young girls assisting me on gigs. I don't know what it is, but somehow I always end up getting these huge gigs that I have to. It's not by mistake, I'm sure, but I have to bring in other makeup artists or other people to help me support. Like I have a wedding in July that has 22 people in her bridal party. Why someone wants to deal with 22 people in the bridal party, I have no idea. But I have 4 of the makeup artists that is helping me with that. So, and some of them are makeup artists who are just starting out. So I want to at least give them to know how to do that hustle and bustle. But I am but I'm not easy on them because it's just one of those things where I want it to be realistic for them because it's not easy. And I think oftentimes I have a young person, my daughter, and I think oftentimes in this generation, they have everything at their disposal. Everything is on YouTube. Everything, everybody want to be a TikTok star, and everybody want to be, Snapchat star, and it's a lot going on. And so that hard work is not necessarily instilled in them like that. So I try to give them a realistic view of if TikTok goes away, you still have, you still have this foundation. So yes, I'm definitely open to mentoring. In the salon, it's a little more tricky because, you have to go through Department of Labor and you got to kind of be, but we definitely have shampoo techs, but that's pretty much all they can do. But even with that, the youth, they're just, I don't know if they still riding off of the unemployment. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's hard to find the youth to come be a shampoo tech anymore. So, but yes, mentoring is definitely important, especially in our community too. I don't know if people realize, but I'm telling you, the African American community is taking this world by storm. I mean, you see it in CEO ranks. You see it, people are being, I was just reading the other day about a woman, the headline say she was giving Tyler Perry a run for her money, but she's launching a whole studio out in Atlanta across acres. So we are really, what they say, the last shall be first. We are really turning the tables here. And so it's definitely important to mentor to our youth, particularly African American kids, but definitely all youth. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Tia. Now to the lady who doesn't like her food to touch, Miss Joy. Miss Joy, what about mentoring? What does that mean to you?
So number one, I do believe coaching, mentoring is extremely important for our growth. If you're not under someone's tutelage and constantly. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I was saying that it is extremely important for us, especially in the real estate realm, to have either a coach or a mentor, someone that you can sit under their table and listen to them and find. Real estate is so vast.
You muted yourself again.
It's muting. It's muting on its own. I didn't touch it.
I promise you, I didn't do
it. Let me see. So there's just so much going on in the real estate world where you definitely want to be sitting under someone's tutelage and getting knowledge from them, from whether it's marketing or studying trends, how to study trends, how to share, how to write contracts, how to articulate the contracts. So it's important to have a mentor. And then as Tia was saying, now that too much is given, much is required. So now that you're learning, who are you going to teach? I get phone calls all the time from people who are aspiring to get information on whether it's real estate or investing and things of that nature. And in helping them, I have students who, high school students who ask if their children can ride along with me. And I take them out and allow them to see what my day looks like. So I've done things like that. And then, of course, working with the youth and mentoring them on a more of a coaching or a larger platform, explaining to them about entrepreneurship, about real estate, about networking, and all of those things so that they can understand from a young, we were talking about from a young perspective, because there's so many, college isn't for everyone. It's not for everyone. It wasn't for me. I joined the Army and I did well and I came out. I've been in sales for over 25 years. It's not for everybody. And so for those people who may wonder, can I be successful and not go to college? I'm here to tell you that you can. And I think, we all kind of share that. So mentorship is extremely important. You get mentorship, and from there, let it trickle down and you begin to break it down to others, whether you're doing it individually or from, like in this case, a platform, or even from a coaching standpoint where you're teaching youth and things of that nature. So in different stages, but definitely important and necessary.
Brincore Entertainment. Go ahead, Tia.
Can I say something right quick to that?
Yes.
And I would tell you, I'm one of those people that reached out to Joy because I asked Joy to share some information. And let me tell you something, young people, I was willing to sit under her for free to get this information and to assist her, like take some of the workload off of her. So it wasn't even, there's always something you can do when you're asking someone. And then the second thing is you always have to be teachable. There is no pride. If you go into this thing with pride, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna make it. Pride needs to go out of the window. So there's no pride there. You know, you have to be teachable for the things. Some people think you've never arrived. In my opinion, I've never arrived. I'm always going to be teachable and looking for the next level. So yes, I reached out to her because I have some ventures I want to do when I move to Florida. But I don't want to have a real estate license. And she gave me some great nuggets, and we about to do this thing.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank y'all. Y'all are also Mr. Brincore Entertainment mentoring.
Well, my field is amazing, and it's not a lot of mentors in my field. You basically learn on the fly. I believe in mentoring. I have 3 sons and a daughter, so I got a lot to mentor to them. And I'm hard on them and try to educate them as much. They're smarter than me, by far. My sons are amazing. But yet, you know, I always say a lot, and it goes back to going to college. I did not go to college. Hated college. Hated high school. But I have what they call this word common sense. And my common sense is I'm a touchy-feely type of person. I want you to feel good that night and come back and say, hey, man, we're following you. We love what you do. So my mentoring is totally different. There's a lot of people, like I said, this industry, it's a very strange industry. It's more competitive to try to outdo the next person. So I try to mentor the folks that are in my circle so that they understand that you have to have a foundation to build upon. Because a lot of us, there are not a lot of promoters out there that you could really say, oh man, and you know, we look at TV, these celebrities, how they made it. It's a lot of them struggling, and trust me, they're TikToking, you know, which is a 30-second clip of something crazy. My daughter did this one. She built a house, and her husband got in the house, flipped upside down, and she had over 1 million+ followers of them just playing in their house. It was amazing. So the mentoring thing, yes, I love to mentor. Anybody that wants to learn underneath of me, come on, whether it's photography, whether it's sound, whether it's marketing, things like that, I can teach you that because I had to learn it on my own. No one mentored me. So, but God has given me the gift to understand how this thing works. And again, I go back to say, it's about foundation. Once you have that foundation, people are going to come to you and they're going to ask you, and you can help other people. Yes, I give back. I do things, you know, community, as I do a lot of things for free. But what you want to do is you just have to just understand that God is really leading you, and He's going to bless you no matter what, you know. But you have to first put Him first, and once you do that, He's the ultimate mentor.
Amen to that. We're going to begin to wrap, but we're going to wrap with this question. Jeanette asked, for all, what do you want your legacy to be? And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go Tia, Robert, and then Joy. I want you to answer the question, what do you want your legacy to be? And also, while you're doing that, any final comments, any promotion of your business that you want to do, and we'll wrap like that. Please go ahead, Tia.
What do I want my legacy to be? I would honestly have to say it really has less to do with me as an entrepreneur and more to do with my spiritual legacy, my faith, because I feel like everything stems from that. And when I look over my life, you know, that's what they say in the church. When I look back over my life, I realize God wasted nothing. He wasted nothing. Nothing that I went through, nothing that I experienced, my trials, my tribulation. not the Holy Ghost faint joy, but
Oh Lord.
but seriously, he wasted nothing. He worked it all for my good because everything that I've gone through, I use those as weapons of warfare right now with any obstacle that I come across. So truly, my legacy is more so my spiritual legacy because everything stems from that. And even when I talk to my daughter and she's going through her own trials as a child. One of the things, Carl, I've said this before, we don't discredit our youth like they don't go through anything. They go through their own thing too.
That's
And
right.
so even with her, I always try to bring her back to he's promised you. He's not gonna leave you or forsake you. He's there, you just gotta rise like an eagle and just wait for that storm to pass.
That's right.
So I think those are the things that she's gonna carry for generations to come and pour into her children. So yes, my legacy is my spiritual legacy. Also, for final remarks, I would say that for anybody that is seeking to do entrepreneurship, you really have to ask yourself what is it for. Me and Laura Shea was having this conversation today, and I was telling her that I have a friend who found out that all this money she was making from her business, she doesn't love it. It was really should have been a hobby. It shouldn't have been her career per se. So you really have to figure out what it is, and that goes back to the purpose and passion, right? But you have to ask yourself, is it a hobby? And you will know. Because I'm telling you, when I want to give up, it is that purpose and that passion that keeps me moving forward. So in those moments where things are not that easy, or the money is drying up, or you don't know where that purpose and the fact that it's your purpose and your passion is what's going to keep you putting one foot in front of another. And it's going to keep you being innovative. How do I go next? What's my next level? You're going to, like Joy said, hungry. You won't stay stagnant. You'll be always seeking, that next level. So yes, I would say really, if you don't take anything else away from me, don't chase money, chase purpose and passion. And I'll leave you with that.
Thank you, Tia. I appreciate that. Mr. Brincourt Entertainment. How about the question was, what about your legacy? And I want you to speak to that and also give any kind of final remarks that you want.
Well, my legacy is basically where I started out 15 years ago with it. I wanted my sons to have my legacy and to continue on with it. Because like I said, I know things, especially this world, you look at TV and the things that are going on in this world, it's really what we call is generational wealth. Back in the day, we were just so happy to get something on our table, but now it's building generational wealth. And I do want to say this. I want to thank everyone who supports Brincourt Entertainment. And if you haven't been to an event, Brincourt.com is my website. Come on out. That's the best way you can do to support me and my journey and our journey. And I do get back. There's a lot of times, people around here do events, and I don't charge them. I say, look, I'm not going to charge you what typically people charge you because I want you to have a successful event. I'm not doing it for free, but we had to do it from a fair standpoint. And just my legacy is just to heal this world, through song, through an event, to working with great people like you have here. Joy, tell you, whenever I see Joy and Tia and them come to my events, or even you, Carl, it means a lot because it means that we're supporting each other. We could drive up, and I look at a lot of these verses and things like that. I'm like, these people can't sing no more, but I not knocking them because they made some beautiful music. But these days, I'll put my band up, I'll put my entertainers up against any of these folks that are out here. And these people making pennies, But my legacy, my final words is that I love everybody. And, I want to do right. I want you to really recognize that I am a child of God and that I'm not out to hurt you, to burn you, or anything like that. The events, I have events. I don't have gigs and things like that. It's an experience that you come to, and you
I
have a
agree.
great, bringing you some of the best venues. We're all over the place. Can I read off a couple things I got going on?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Saturday, April 16th at the Dominion Raceway, we're doing a tribute to Motown. I don't know if you all seen it. One of the best Motown shows. Bring your grandmother and all them out. They'll have a ball. Mother's Day, we're doing a brunch at the Expo Center, the Fredericksburg Expo Center. We're bringing the Luther Vandross guy to tribute to the music of Luther Vandross. He's coming down to do a brunch. These are the things that we have. Then we're going back to the Groove on June the 18th. We're doing a big jazz concert. So if you like jazz, so I'm trying to do something for everybody. And then Joy know about this. We're doing an all-white party again in July the 23rd. That was amazing. Over 400 and some odd people came out. I didn't think Fredericksburg had that many black people. So, but they came out. They were everywhere. We had a great time, and I do want to say I thank you all for supporting me over the years, and we're going to still continue to do what we do. Yes, I do. God bless you.
Thank you so much, brother. All right, the joyous experience.
Look to your God church. If I can help somebody as I travel along the way, then my living will not be in vain. That's what they say in the old school, right? So, and that's really for me. That's what it amounts to, you guys. Hope. I believe I'm a hope pusher, a joy pusher, and that's what I want my level of significance to be about. My legacy is that I pushed hope. A child who was a delinquent high school student who barely graduated high school, always fighting and getting in trouble, joined the military. And, the fact that I am now a multi-million-dollar top producing realtor, and worked in the mortgage business at first and lost everything, went from making over $25,000 a month to food stamps, lost our home and lost everything. And then, turning that around and coming back into the real estate industry and just, doing exceptionally well. I like telling people, because nobody wants to say, I know what you're going through. I've been there. Yes. Oh, you're facing foreclosure. I've been there. I understand that feeling. So a base and a bound, you see me smile, but you don't know the loss that I've encountered. And so when I get the opportunity to say, baby, like I told this girl today, baby, I know that feeling. I know what it's like to have bad credit and you trying to rent a house. So I know what it's like to lose your house and you trying to figure out how you gonna make ends meet. And both of y'all lost y'all careers in the with the crash in 08. So I understand. And so I want to be able to share and tell them, listen, you can do this. We can come out of this. I'm the multi-million-dollar house. I've lived in a 7,500 square foot house. So I understand. I'm living in a 1,500 square foot condo. I'm happy. So I'm happy here. I'm happy there. I can relate to you in all levels. And so that's the important thing, is being able to relate off of that joyous experience and helping people understand we can do this together. We can grow together. We can build this, we can buy multiple investment properties. We can, improve our credit. We can find out about annuities and things of that nature. So I'm looking forward to the educational piece of bringing people out of financial bondage. And again, like I said, I know what it's like. So you're not talking to me. You can't tell me anything about making money. You can't tell me anything about losing money. You can't tell me anything about big houses, little houses. I'm there. I've been there. So I just want to let people know, whatever you want to do, let's do it. As a family, as a community, let's make it happen. So
That's what I'm
just excited. I want to give everybody that joyous experience and the level of significance in my community. That's what I'm looking for in the world.
Thank y'all so much. This panel has been a blessing to the community at large. And let me tell you, you've been food for my soul this evening. And so there were so many people who were, tagging, reaching out because they were excited when we made the announcement. We put the flyer out, and I was surprised. Ding, 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 ding. My phone started going crazy. They call y'all the All-Star team. So
no, that's them.
Oh, you part of the All-Stars, brother. Let me tell you, you are part of the All-Stars. But we appreciate you, Sonia. I agree. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate all of you who poured out. Joy, you poured out. Robert, you poured out. Tia, you poured out. And the audience benefits from this because you're so real with your experience and your walk. And I thank you. I'm going to take just a moment, y'all, to do some advertising here. Heart for the Community Initiative, along with Enough and PD 16 Perspective, PW Perspective, and some other folks too. We are hosting a Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, June 18th. And Brincourt was talking about this earlier. I think he's going to be coming along with us. We're going to be at the historic Mount Bethel Retreat Center in King George, Virginia. If you are a vendor and you want a table, the tables are only $35. I can guarantee you there are probably not many spaces left. So you might want to contact us quickly. You can send us a note at the Enough Facebook page, or where else are they? Instagram. You can find Facebook, find Heart for the Community Initiative on Facebook. Let us know something, please, please, please. And if you're on this broadcast, you're in the audience, and you want to get a vendor table for them $35, put something in the comments. We will contact you. If you have a food truck and you want to be a part, we're not charging for food trucks, but we do need to get organized. So let us know who you are, what you got going on, the name of your business, and we will absolutely lead you to the people who are specifically taking care of these things. Please mark your calendar, Saturday, June 18th, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the historic Mount Bethel Retreat Center in King George, Virginia. We're going to be there. You know what they say, be there or be square. And I'm expecting to see, I'm hoping to see all of these people, Tia and Robert and Joy. I know that's a Saturday. I know that's days y'all trying to get this money.
Yeah, I have to be there.
Oh, that's right. That's what we're doing business with you.
Let me hear some good music.
Amen. And listen, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I personally put my name behind these three guests. They're good people. And the next time we have a big event, that we had Joy over one time. But next time we have a big event, we got to make sure we get Tia and Robert too. It was a joyous time. My mom was still talking about Joy and her sister Kim from that big city, Danville.
Robert, when I tell you that she really went in unnecessarily about me being from Danville and then having one stoplight, it was so bad I had to leave. You know when I'm speechless, because this after a while, there's only but a certain amount of things you can say when somebody really going in on you. And I was like, I don't want to say nothing about nobody's family and carrying on. And so I was like, it's just best that I leave.
Do you know the comedian Miss Gail? She's from Danville.
What?
Who?
Yeah, we gotta have her. Yeah, she's from Danville too.
Yes, you had her one time. Yeah. She was at your event, yeah.
Yeah, right.
As a matter of fact, I think I remember her. We got to have the Danville connection going on here.
Right.
Well, listen, audience, we love you. We appreciate you. And we hope that something was shared today that made you just fall in love with these entrepreneurs. Remember, if you got a realty issue, you want to have that joyous experience, get in contact with Joy. She has her information right there in her name tag. Brincourt Entertainment. I ran that site several times during the broadcast. You just go to Brincourt.com. Brincourt.com. You're going to see it all. And that brother is amazing. I've been to those shows. As a matter of fact, a couple of those ones that you just mentioned, I'm going to get off right now and I got to talk to the boss. You know, y'all know who the boss is, right? Now, I will admit, with Tia, I haven't had my face beat. And as you can tell, I haven't had my hair done. But I'm a risk taker too, Tia. Huh? I might need you to throw a little something in this gray and do a little something. But these are
listen, when you get your TV show, I'm gonna be the makeup artist on tap to make sure you
yes. Yes, yeah, hired. And I said it in a live audience, hired. Thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate y'all. This has been fun. It wasn't work at all. It was fun, and it really was something for the community. Y'all don't
Thank
be
you
afraid to
so
spend your
much.
money. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for having us, Carl. We truly
Yeah.
appreciated it. I can speak for them. Like I said, these are my family. This is, I mean, you know, these are my folks. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank everyone for coming on and allowing us the opportunity to serve our community in a different capacity. And may God bless you,
Bless you.
Carl, with all that you're doing in terms of spreading the word, spreading many initiatives that are going out in the community, whether it's in all kinds of awareness you're bringing to different things. So we bless you for this your platform that you've established, and we just hope that God will continue to bless it. And as Tia already to put you on TV, so we, you know, let us know when the show is happening. We're gonna be there to support you there as well.
That's what I'm going to roll out my gospel potlucking ministry. And
Oh,
I want
Oh,
you to.
don't forget me.
Rob, I might need you to bring one of your bands. You know what I'm saying?
I already told you.
All right. All right, y'all. We thank you. Thank you. Until next time, may God bless you and may heaven smile upon you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Take care.